Well, we're all heading home right now from the barn. It's 1:30. We had some horses. We had some horses training today. We had some horses qualifying today. We did not have rain today, and it was supposed to pour all day, so that worked out real well. Last night was a good night, except for me. I got a driving suspension. I got a urging violation. I need your opinion. I watched the race. I didn't think I broke the rules, but maybe I did, I guess. Regardless, I told one of our clients it's like getting a speeding ticket. You can complain all you want. You just check one of the two options on the back of the ticket. You're not going to fight it. So I got a 5-day suspension. I've taken my days already. July 12th to 16th, I'll be down. I'll be in Ohio anyway. And yeah, I know, it's my fault. Not a lot going on those 5 days anyway, so maybe a Buckeye race or two or something, but for the most part it sucks, but that's the way it is. In regards to that race, Need Your Opinion was fantastic last night. I myself didn't do a bad job last night. Started off the night with Trafalgar, race good. Obviously she was a little aggressive over to the half. You know, and somebody said, well, what if you try this? What if you try that? The only thing we need to try is not having a second quarter in 30 seconds. We went 29-2. I'm sure she would have been much more manageable. But, we walked the second quarter a little bit. And she gets a little crazy. One of our other clients said, well, she got a second quarter in 30 seconds in Georgian. And I said, yes, she did, but she was on the front doing it. And she was in with Georgian horses. So, I was really happy with Addie Bear. I was really happy with have a hat. I was really happy with Trafalgar last night. Then we raced Roy Hill. Didn't know what to think. 10-hole, that's trailing post. You knew there was going to be some fireworks in there. Roy Hill did pretty good. You know, he paced 58 his first start. I figured he was ready for 55, and that's what he did. 55 last quarter and 27. His own last half, I think 56 in a bit. But he did it real well. First time I can honestly say that Roy Hill behaved, was smart, understood, and raced his heart out, or trained his heart out, went as hard as he could the whole way. So that was a big turning point last night for Roy Hill, I believe, in his race. He's heading down to Ohio next week for the next generation. Obviously, there's lots of good horses everywhere, so we'll see how we fend out. Yesterday afternoon, the filly side. Yesterday morning, we trained well and down in 56 and a bit, 57. She was pretty good also. So those two will be heading to the next generation for us next weekend. The day before that will be our 2-year-olds going out. We have GW Chrome on the colt side, and on the filly side, we have 4. We were up in the air about Miss Meringue and what's the little filly's name that raced the other night? Anyway, it'll come. You know who I'm talking about. Both those little fillies. We didn't know, but at the same time, they draw good, and they're at their home track of Northfield. It's much better than shipping them 2 hours in the heat. And if they draw the outside in a Buckeye in the heat, it's going to be really tough for them to handle anyway. My Jazz is what I'm talking about. So we should have 5 in the Golds next Friday. The Sire Stakes, don't Oliver. 5 in the Sire Stakes next Friday, and then we'll be moving to Scioto for Saturday. Ava, stop, honey. Back to the qualifiers. So first are the races last night. Trafalgar went good. Roy Hill went good. And then Miss Brampton Beast, scope with a little mucus, but raced just about as good as she could. 54 last quarter and 27 and 4, 28 I think. Raced really well, but not nearly as good, although she raced faster. Need your opinion if we got any more room. Somebody said, geez, I wish you'd have come first over. Are you kidding me? Come first over. I wasn't coming first over with that filly. Ava at 6-5 with the 6-5 favorite on the front end. With the week we had and how things have been a little rough for me also driving some of these horses that are longer shots, it was tough. So I needed to get a good trip with Need Your Opinion. It worked out well. We fished our way out. Might have been just a teensy bit of interference, but I fished our way out and shot through. I thought I won for a second, and I know Chris Christopher thought I won. He went back to the paddock, and I waited. I was coming back to the paddock last. I'm trying to look and see who was out in the track, and then I saw our caretakers in the turn waiting to pick up the horse. So I knew that we didn't win, but she raced fantastic. 55 and 2 last quarter, and I don't know, 27 and a piece. She was very, very good. And then in the qualifiers today, first qualifier, Adrenaline Rush, track was a little sticky. First time with aluminums on. We pulled his hobbles in a bit. He was a little rolly. Need to take him and Better's Hope to the vet for two different reasons. Adrenaline Rush, just get him checked up. Was I a little upset? Yeah, but we were at the quarter in 31 seconds, went a mile in 57 and 2. You do the math. 126 and 2 his last three quarters. Was he as good as Ava? Yes. Was he as good as the horses that won it? No, not this morning. And I don't think he was 100% today. Soundness, probably 95. But health-wise, he was good. Good. Not awesome, not 100%, but good. So I expect a good mile out of him. All it did was really knock him out of the gold for next week. We'll start him in the grassroots on Monday. But all of those colts starting in the grassroots, depending on how the golds look, could find themselves educated and find themselves graduating into the golds the next time. These are 5 really nice colts. One of them, No Free Lunch, has proven he is top of the heap as far as the colts go. Was 53 and 2 last night with that Vino horse and a couple others. With a good mile, was it a good mile? Fantastic mile. I'm not scared of anybody with No Free Lunch right now. The way he has been qualifying, he looks phenomenal. So he'll be in the gold next Friday. The other colts will be in the grassroots on the Monday. And then Better's Hope was in the second one. He wasn't good. Rolly. I said to Kevin, maybe flip-flops on him and take him to the vet. We'll get his knees and feet checked out. I suspect we'll find stuff there. Nothing serious. But if we don't find enough, I mean, there is always time to mature and just let this horse relax. He's got a ton of speed. He trained in 2.2 last half and 57 and a bit last week. I was happy. Kevin was happy. Was it the track? Was it him? Was it a number of things today? I don't know. But we'll find out. He wasn't lame. He didn't pull up lame. But he did not have a very fluid, functional gait today, so we'll figure out what that reason was over the next few days, and then we'll bring that to you. He won't be going in the grassroots or the gold Friday or Monday. We want to make sure we get this colt straightened out. He was a couple of weeks behind everybody else, so let's take that time to straighten his gait out. And if we can't straighten his gait out, if it's a reason that, hey, his knees are wide open, his feet are bothering him a little bit, he might need a little time, then we'll give him time. He's a good colt. He's bred well. He's always done everything pretty good. Trained well last week, but he may not be ready for quarters in 27 seconds yet. So we'll see what the veterinarian says this week. I'm certainly not concerned with Better's Hope in the least. Next one out was Rito Sunshine. Best trip of his life. Rito Sunshine is he's doing all he can. He's doing all he can. I'm going to reach out to our partners on Rito Sunshine and say this might be a time to look at maybe selling Rito Sunshine in a smaller barn, a colt that qualified in 58 last quarter and 29 that looks so good as he does. Might find himself into a smaller operation, but we'll see. That's something I'll discuss with our partners on Rito Sunshine. You might ask yourself, well, why not? Better's Hope was 5 seconds slower. Hold on. Rito Sunshine paced 2.7 last week in 58, so I'm not worried about the 2.3 and where Better's Hope will go. Better's Hope is a better looking colt right now. He's not ready right now, so not right now he's not. But he's a colt that I think has got a lot of potential if we can get the wrinkles out of him, and I'm sure that won't be a problem. There's no mystery here. I'm going to say that a set of flip-flops up front and getting his knees looked at. If there's nothing wrong, we just inject his knees. I think you'll see the vast majority of those wrinkles disappear and dissipate immediately, at which point we can decide where we're going to race him. Probably looking at requalification next Friday for him. That brings us to our Desperado was before him. Desperado didn't know what to think. Had to scratch him last time because he had a little temperature. Come back today. The track was a little sticky, a little windy. Ava. Track was a little sticky, a little windy. How would he be? 57 and 1 last quarter and 28 apiece. I think he's done enough to find himself right into the Buckeye. Ava, you're being a little silly, honey.
I'm trying to make Addie laugh.
Yeah, well, you're not making me laugh, though. So there's a fine line between upsetting me, frustrating me, and making Addie laugh. Why don't we try to walk that line? All right? Thank you.
How do you connect them?
That'll be up to you to figure out. So, Desperado was good. 57 and 1 last quarter and 28. I was rather happy with Desperado. Probably find a Buckeye for him his first start. Momo also. Just want to see what kind of Shark Tank we're walking into. That first start in Ohio can be a difficult hill to climb, and I think it would make sense maybe look for an easier hill for their first start. So you'll see Momo and Momo and our boy Desperado likely find themselves into the Buckeye their first start. So that's all that took place today. That's what took place tonight. I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to have a little vacation, I guess, for 5 days.
Dad, why
After I've
can't
been
we
there a
go to
week.
Ohio?
You can't get across the border, sweetheart.
Why can't we just do a plane?
Well, you can, but then you still have a problem in Ohio. When you come back from Ohio, you'd have to quarantine for 14 days.
So,
And we've had enough quarantining for one lifetime.
we've not had any quarantine.
Well, I think you should ask your mother.
7 days a week.
Yeah?
At
You
the
should ask
bar.
your mom about the quarantining with you. I think she might have a different response.
You have to quarantine too.
When I come home, I do. So if I come home for those 5 days, they'll be spent at home with you little rugrats. So that's it. What's up? You're all up to date now with what's going on. I'm going to Georgian Downs tonight with Aglarium and Harness Am, and it just dawned on me now. Sisters, the 2 and 3-year-olds are racing tonight.
Yes, we're at Jet's house.
I know. The sisters are racing tonight.
Bye.
Thank you. You guys
Have
have
fun
a...
taking care of Addie.
I will. She's a little easier to take care of than you, in case you're wondering. We have Harness AM and Aglarium tonight. And then also at Mohawk, we have Watch Avenue and Zeb Sunshine, so I'll be watching them interested. Might be a bit of a big step for them. Who knows? We'll see. So now we start to see the landscape take place. Everything start to fall into place. Who's staying, who might be going, who needs to be turned out, where our racehorses are going. We see That's My Girl and Walk on the Moon, Indigo Tuesday. What are you whining about? Indigo Tuesday. I got to get going because I think there's some waterworks about to happen back here. But it was it was a decent day today at the qualifiers and a great day last night at the track. Let's build from that and move forward. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. It's starting off pretty good for us here at thestable.ca. Talk to you soon.